Hey there! Are you curious about how Africa will look like in 2050? Well, you've come to the right place. Africa is a continent of great diversity, with a rich culture and history, and it's undergoing significant changes that will shape its future. In this video, we'll be discussing the exciting changes that are expected to take place in Africa by 2050, including population growth, technological advancements, economic growth, and environmental challenges. We'll also explore the potential for increased investment in education and human development to accelerate Africa's progress towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So, if you want to know what the future holds for Africa, stick around until the end of the video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Let's dive in. Let's talk about one of the most fascinating topics surrounding Africa's future: population growth and demographic changes. Now, let's put these projections into perspective. In 1950, Africa's population was only 228 million people. By 2010, it had grown to 1 billion. And by 2050, it's projected to be 2.5 billion people. That's a massive increase from the current population of 1.3 billion people. This means that by 2050, 1 in every 4 people in the world will be African. In comparison to other regions, Africa's population growth is outpacing the rest of the world. While other regions, like Europe and Asia, are projected to experience population declines, Africa's population is projected to keep growing. Now, that's a lot of people. But what does this mean for the continent's economic, social, and political landscape? Well, let's take a closer look. Economically, Africa's population boom presents opportunities, such as more consumers, more workers, and more entrepreneurs. Socially, Africa's population growth could have a significant impact on issues like education, healthcare, and gender equality. The rapid pace of urbanization and infrastructure development. To put this into perspective, in 1950, only 15% of Africa's population lived in urban areas. Over the past few decades, Africa has experienced a significant shift from rural to urban areas. By 2020, that number had grown to 43%. And by 2050, it's projected that over 50% of the continent's population will be urban. That's a massive shift in just a few decades. This means that the continent's cities will be home to some of the fastest-growing populations in the world. So, what does this mean for Africa's infrastructure development? Well, let's dive in. As more and more people move to urban areas, there will be a greater need for transportation infrastructure to connect people and goods. For example, one of Africa's most populous cities, Lagos, Nigeria, is investing in a new light rail system to ease traffic congestion and improve connectivity in the city. With a growing urban population, there will be a greater demand for housing. Some cities are already taking steps to address this issue. For example, Kigali, Rwanda, has launched a program to provide affordable housing to low-income families, while Nairobi, Kenya, is working to redevelop informal settlements and provide better housing options for residents. As cities grow, so does their demand for energy. Some African cities are already leading the way in renewable energy. For example, Cape Town, South Africa, is working to become the first African city to generate all of its electricity from renewable sources. Technological advancements and the potential for innovation. Africa has already made significant strides in the technology space. For example, Kenya has become a leader in mobile money through platforms like M-Pesa, which allows people to send and receive money using their mobile phones. And in South Africa, the Square Kilometre Array (SKA) radio telescope is being built, which will be the largest and most sensitive radio telescope in the world. Looking forward to 2050, there is even more potential for technological advancements to transform key sectors of the African economy. Let's take a closer look. Agriculture is a critical sector for Africa, employing over 60% of the population in some countries. Technology has the potential to revolutionize this sector by improving crop yields, reducing waste, and increasing efficiency. For example, precision agriculture, which uses data and analytics to optimize farming practices, could help farmers make better decisions and boost productivity. Access to quality healthcare is a challenge for many Africans, particularly in rural areas. Technology has the potential to improve healthcare outcomes by enabling remote diagnosis and treatment, as well as improving the efficiency of healthcare systems. For example, telemedicine allows doctors to consult with patients remotely, while electronic medical records can improve the accuracy and accessibility of patient data. Education is a critical component of economic development, but many African countries face challenges in providing quality education to all children. Technology can help bridge this gap by providing access to online learning resources and tools. For example, initiatives like eLimu in Kenya provide digital educational content that can be accessed on low-cost tablets, while massive open online courses, MOOCs, offer free online courses from top universities around the world. Economic growth and development. Africa's economic growth has been impressive over the past decade, with many countries experiencing sustained periods of growth. In 2019, the continent's GDP grew by an average of 3.4%, and several countries, including Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Côte d'Ivoire, recorded growth rates above 7%. However, this growth has been uneven, with some countries still struggling to overcome poverty and underdevelopment. Looking ahead to the future, there is enormous potential for Africa to become a major player in the global economy. Here are a few factors to consider. As the world becomes increasingly digital and interconnected, new industries are emerging that have the potential to drive economic growth in Africa. For example, fintech, e-commerce, and mobile technology are all growing rapidly, and African entrepreneurs are taking advantage of these trends to create innovative new businesses. As traditional trading partners like Europe and the United States become more protectionist, African countries are looking for new partners to drive trade and economic growth. For example, China has invested heavily in infrastructure development in Africa in recent years, and other countries, such as India and Japan, are also increasing their presence on the continent. Finally, regional integration is a critical factor in Africa's economic growth and development. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, which was launched in 2019, has the potential to create a single market of over 1.2 billion people and boost intra-African trade. By increasing regional cooperation and reducing trade barriers, Africa can unlock significant economic potential. Political developments. By 2050, it's expected that Africa's political landscape will continue to evolve, with some countries making significant strides towards democratic governance while others still face challenges. It's also possible that greater regional cooperation and integration will become a reality, driving economic growth and development across the continent. Africa's political developments by 2050 are uncertain, but the potential for greater regional cooperation and integration offers hope for a brighter future. It's up to African leaders and citizens to work together to overcome the challenges and build a more stable, democratic, and prosperous continent. The rich and diverse cultures of Africa. By 2050, it's expected that African cultures will continue to evolve, adapting to the changing times while also preserving their unique identities. The younger generation will play a significant role in shaping the future of African cultures as they adopt new technologies and connect with other cultures worldwide. African cultures are diverse and fascinating, and they are poised to evolve in exciting ways over the next few decades. As we embrace technological advancements and globalization, let's also work to preserve and celebrate our cultural heritage. Thank you for watching. Education and human development. Currently, many African countries are investing in education and human development to improve their citizens' quality of life. This includes investments in healthcare, housing, and education. However, despite these efforts, Africa still lags behind other regions in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. By 2050, it's projected that more African countries will continue to invest in education and human development, resulting in improved quality of life for their citizens. For instance, it's expected that the number of people living in extreme poverty will decline, and there will be more opportunities for people to access quality education, healthcare, and housing. In conclusion, the future looks bright for Africa, with significant changes expected to take place in the coming decades. These developments have significant implications for the continent's economic, social, and political landscape. It's essential that we continue to invest in Africa's development to realize its full potential and ensure that everyone can benefit from the progress being made. We can all contribute to this effort by staying informed, engaging in conversations about Africa's future, and supporting organizations working towards sustainable development on the continent. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.